Hello YouTube, another cold DSN here, and today we're going to talk about taking care of your bike for the winter. Not necessarily taking care of it, but my sort of process now that summer's finished and winter's here. Now I will at some point go through a process that I do for the summer, you know, when it's fun time again. But for now we're going to look at basically what I do to my bike at the end of every season. So basically now, like today, like I said, you'll see me out of the video hopefully, winter is here. It's freezing cold. I've got my puffy heated grips on because I'm a wuss. And which basically means the CBR is really not, the Fireblade, sorry. I can't say CBR because I'm going to have two soon. The Fireblade isn't going to get much use. You might get the occasional sunny day or the lucky sunny weekend where you get to take it out and have a blast. Ossifar! But for the most part, she's going to be in the garage for most of the winter. So, what do I do to my lovely bike before I put her in the garage for the winter? Well, I pretty much do essentially a full service. Now, keep in mind, I put a lot of miles on this bike. Thousands and thousands of miles go on this bike during the summer. So, it gets a lot of wear and tear, and pretty much over the winter I will do everything that needs doing to the bike. So it gets a full fluid change, all the gearbox oil, all the brake lines, all the dot for everything, all the coolant, the whole lot gets completely drained out of the engine. All the filters get changed, new air filter, new oil filter. I do the valve timings, I do change the spark plugs normally. This year specifically, I'm going to be changing another ossifer. What are you all doing? I'm going to be changing the discs. The front discs have been warped, unfortunately, and which is something obviously I wouldn't be doing unless the discs were warped. If the discs were okay, I wouldn't normally change them, but they need changing because I've warped them, and I just haven't got around to doing it yet this year. Oh, is it wheelie time? No, it's not wheelie time. And on top of that, I'm going to change the clutch this year as well. Not the whole clutch, just the plates and the springs, because it's the original clutch that's in this bike. The clutch has never been changed on this bike, and it's not slipping, it's still giving me full power delivery, like through the gears, but it's not, you can tell basically when I'm doing wheelies and I let the clutch out, it's starting to slip a little bit. So I'm going to take care of that as well. But I do this pretty much over the course of the winter, really. Oh, is it wheelie time? No, it's not wheelie time. Oh, it might be wheelie time around this corner though. Yes. No. No, it's not wheelie time yet. And yeah, so I'll basically take the bike apart. I'll take the fairing off it. Once it gets put away, all the fairing comes off. And all the other bits and bobs. And then basically over the course of sort of, November, December, I'll just start ordering bits and bobs for it over the winter, and I leave it pretty much in pieces. Now I also do like a full machine polish. Ah, yes. Ready? Whee! Wheelie time. I also give all the bodywork, so I take all the fairing off that I can, and then just over the winter, as on top of everything else, I'll make sure that it all gets a really nice, take all the wax off, get it all the way down to the paint, and then give it a good machine polish, get all the scratches and dinks and scuffs that it's picked up over the summer, get the paint looking as nice as I can, and then put a good couple of, really nice thick coat of wax on there. I get this, I forget what it's called. It's a really big thick coat of wax that goes on, and then I'll put 2 coats of that on, and then I'll put like this finishing wax on the top, which is basically what I'm replacing every time I wash the bike. The old wax stays on. I don't use any of the shampoos that will actually take the wax off this original coat. And yeah, so we got all the fairing off the bike, all the fluid out of the bike, and that'll obviously get, all the filters come out, and the tank comes off, so we can get to all the bits we need to, and then it basically stays that way, while I get everything done. So I don't sit there for days on end. I'll literally just nip in when I get the time, put a couple of hours into it, and just slowly start putting her right. And I think I'm also going to be ordering quite a few little upgrades for her this year. I don't tend to play around with the bike too much when I first buy it, in case I get bored of it or I go off it. So I'm going to get some levers for her, and either get some new rear sets or spray the ones that I got on, because there's nothing wrong with the sets I got on here. Yeah, and then just slowly, just when I get the time on the weekends or for an hour or two after work, just start getting it through, and by the end, give it a month, all the parts arrive and everything's done, and she's all back together again. And then she sits there under a little heated blanket, just sat there lying in wait, ready for the summer. So lots of fun to be had. Of course, new set of tyres go on as well. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I do to my bike when I put her away for the winter. And she gets periodically played with, because she likes that, because she's naughty.